my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you.
Miss that smile, Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la,
Feel it, baby, stress is all around us. These high ceilings and I need it, baby. Pressure it, make diamonds, I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby, hurts to see you crying. Know you trying, ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong. This toxicity, the death of me, I fear the day you gone. The most beautiful girl I've ever known.
I'll find a way to treat you better. I swear there's no one out there like you. You teach me to be better. My talk is cheap, keep asking what I'll do. I'll fly you to the moon and hope I'll see you soon. I'll find a way to treat you better. No problem, I'll do whatever. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la.
Hey, what's up, legends? Welcome back to my probably very first drawing session that I'm gonna be titling under this name. Do you know what's really awesome? What is really awesome is to spend time, have dedicated time to draw. So this is what we want to do in this session, is to really take the time. You know, you got a busy day. I know you have a ton of other things to do, and to really take time to do just one single thing, just drawing. That is something that we do not have enough time of, and this is why what I want to do is to really get into drawing with you. So I am not going to reveal what we're doing today because usually I do not know what we're doing. Second of all, I also want to be free and just be spontaneous about it. And lastly, but not last, but not least, is that I want to kind of like make you guys guess of what we can do, and also kind of like bring this into a whole new chapter, guys. So today I have already prepared something, I've already thought of something, and so we're gonna start off something really basic. Now, usually what I do is also I use the iPad to draw. Today I'm just gonna try to do as much as I can with just pens and pencils and all these tools that you can use, but always think of this. You can always use the tools that you have at your disposal, and you do not necessarily need to have an iPad. The reason why I mostly use iPads, though, in my previous streams is that it's just an easier way to show you guys and show you details of my work, because I can just zoom in, zoom out, and so on. So this is why I'm gonna use from time to time an iPad as well. And also I just focus on iPad lettering too. But nevertheless, let's get started with the drawing session. So I hope that you guys brought something to draw with, a pencil, a piece of paper, maybe something like that, and that you are ready to rock and roll, and that we can get started together. So let's do this together, and switching over to the camera and then turning on myself here on the side, which is a little bit stupid because I cannot see myself. So I'm just gonna switch this around and boom, tiny little me just in the corner. So you guys can still see me, but mostly what we're fixing on is the drawing here. So I had this idea of course, drawing something more of a 3D element. So first off, what we're going to start off with is a kind of an oval shape on your piece of paper. Now usually when I sketch out things, I'm not going to use, like, I'm not going to trace so hard, but since we are sketching to have you guys be able to see it, we're going to start off simple with just a tiny little circle here. Then we're going to divide this here. We're going to add like these bended lines, which are super easy. Just bend it here around, and the more you get to the edge, the more you're just going to bend it a little bit here. The same thing we're going to do here at the other end, pretty much the same thing. So symmetrically, like if you try to divide this symmetrically, this is kind of what would happen. And then we're going to connect this. So we're going to play around here. So it's going to connect by the back, so it's kind of like a ribbon. And we're going to do the same thing here at the bottom. And we're going to connect these pieces. Now this is the center of this oval, so I'm just going to a little bit connect these parts here because you're going to know why in just a minute. But here we go. This is where I'm going to connect, and I'm just going to add a couple more lines. And you know, sketching is messy, and I might go really fast, but you can always rewatch this at a later time, and so I recommend you to do that. Now, the focus, the practice is that we're going to add an object here. So we're going to add an illustration inside here, because what I love is I love to write about stuff that I really love about. So I love coffee, and it's not really something new, but it's something that I enjoy. And so maybe it's something else that you enjoy, that you really enjoy. For example, tea or Coca-Cola or something. So I'm gonna write coffee addict. So it's gonna be or coffee lover, maybe something else, but you can do it the way you want to do it. So again, I'm gonna start placing my objects here, and coffee has like 6 letters on the top. So just to give you a reference, today I already had 2 coffees, probably gonna have 1 more. And what are we going to write down is coffee addict or coffee lover. And I think I'm gonna write coffee addict. Even though addictions are not the best form of saying something, but hey, we are coffee lover. So I'm just gonna place, I'm kind of spacing out the letters that I need to place in. So first off, we have the C. So I kind of want to place this around here. And this is gonna help me to draw the first word here. So as you can see, I kind of try to stick off with this line, so kind of like make it look like it's shaped and rounded. And then I'm gonna fill in all these other letters. And I actually might change that around a tiny little bit more. But so first off, we are drawing every single letter inside the other. And this last letter here, it's kind of like, should be bending outside, and kind of like switch behind it. And the same thing over here is where we have coffee. Oh, actually I said addict, not lover. So here we're switching to a D, another D, and I hope that you guys can really see it well, because it would be too bad if you have trouble reading it. And so you cannot really follow the instructions along, but again, you can also just draw your own design, do your own thing. Don't necessarily have to copy whatever I'm doing, but again, it's also fun if we do all the same thing together, not all one by one. So again, let me know in the comments below, not just in the live chat, but in the comments below, if you love coffee, or tell me just what your favorite drink is. Perhaps it's tea. I just had like an energy drink before, so again, this is not really good for me, so probably just, maybe I'm not a coffee lover, I'm maybe a caffeine addict, more than anything else, or caffeine junkie. But anyhow, so right now I'm kind of trying to get the 3D behind it. So this is a little extrusion. So I'm connecting these all one by one here with this dot. So this is called the 1-point perspective. If you haven't heard of this one, you can also check out my YouTube video on 3D drawing, so like perspective lettering, like 3D lettering. I did a live stream a few months ago, which you can rewatch at any time. And also I got a course, an online course, online class out there that also teaches all these things. So right now we got kind of like this thing, the bow, the bend in the back is not necessarily necessary to have that, but here is where I'm gonna add my coffee cup. So this is where the illustrations will come in, and maybe I should add some contrast so you guys actually can see that there's a 3D part happening here. This is more for you guys than for me. Whenever you're sketching, don't sketch for anyone else but for you. You need to be able to figure out what you're drawing. You need to be able to understand what you're drawing. So don't worry about how everything looks, or if someone else could understand what you're drawing, unless you're drawing for a client. But other than that, really just draw for yourself and not for anyone else. And so keep that in mind. So right there, you can see there's a 3D extrusion happening. Maybe I have to prolong this effect here, the extrusion a little bit more. But more than that, I feel like that's pretty fine. So here the A kind of like goes out. And I tell you one thing, the more you do 3D, the better you'll get, the easier it will be. So always keep practicing. Practice is super important. Change the perspective of an object. That way you can really learn a lot more about how to place the 3D behind it, the extrusion. And again, the more you practice it, the better it will get, it will be. And that's just one cool fact. So here we go. We got the addict, and if I kind of would probably take away some of those lines. That can also help to just understand what's happening in this frame, in this picture. And then maybe we can just hide some other layers. But these lines actually, kind of like the shape that we created here, isn't too bad because that actually helps us. And so here we can kind of like either have some lines that just cross, but basically what this helps also is just to create some lines around for the coffee cup. So here we have the coffee cup, and I kind of want to create a splash because I don't know, actually not that great at doing these splashes, but hiding an object here could be really cool in theory. So this is where we kind of want to have that cup, and you know, creating some splashes around here. That'd be really cool. So this is where I've landed so far. I haven't really thought more of it than this. The cool thing would be if like the splashes would go all the way up here, but somehow this is kind of doesn't look possible. So first sketch is done, or seems to be done. So I'm gonna just grab my pencil scratcher here. And I had the idea of using this gold plate, but this kind of doesn't work now with that. So what else could we do with this? Might just change kind of the whole topic. Let's switch to another layer, which in this case isn't strong enough. I would need to have like an iPad to shine the light behind it. So now that we have this sketch, let's see if we can figure out how to really redraw this in a nice way and sketch it out maybe perhaps just a tiny little bit better. But then that leaves me with the same question I had before, is I want to make it stand out. And honestly, I know I could do that with the iPad, with using the iPad, but I'm a little bit torn between using these objects. I'm torn between using Procreate right now because I know I could get the better to look better, but we're all probably using pencil right now, so I feel bad if I switch. And this is kind of the problem. I feel bad if I switch, which is also stupid, but it is the way it is. So indulge me for a second. Let's see if we can figure out a solution for our problem. All right, I got one. I think I got one. Not sure if it's gonna work, but why not use this black background? As you can see, it's not my desk. My desk, actually, this is where the paper stops, but I can draw right here at the center of this black piece of paper, or, nope, that doesn't work. See if I have another piece of black paper. Oh, there's a line in between, that doesn't work either. Do I have another piece of paper that I could use, use for this? No, there's also something on the back. See, this is where having a piece of paper works. All right, I gotta just get back to you guys here. So I'm just gonna go at it and draw on this piece of paper. So here we go, drawing on a black piece of paper with a beautiful white pencil. Why? It's a good question. I don't know why. I just probably the coolest thing to do right now. So let's redraw these lines, and you guys will barely see it because the goal is that you barely see these guidelines. And so now I'm just gonna start drawing here. And now I'm just gonna start by creating these lines, creating less lines than previously, because that will help with the whole creation part. So this is the center, so everything will be connected to this center. So right now, just really sketching out these lines in the most perfect way possible. All right, and now I'm just gonna try to offset the same distance here down, and then trying to connect, giving it a similar bend, same height of the letters. Again, you can just use your fingers here just to measure out these parts. So this is very technical so far, just because you have to, again, imagine all these 3D elements. But what looks really cool is just the time again. It's all about the drawing time, having fun, getting time to create and draw. Like if you don't enjoy the process, there's not much you can do about it. Like, the process is what you need to be able to enjoy, and here this is why I get so quiet, is because not because I necessarily need to concentrate, but because it's just so peaceful in this time. And so I hope that while doing this exercise together, that we really just can spend some time together and just take our time to draw. So if you're rewatching this, you can just turn this on, you get to draw something while listening to my voice, whether you like that or not. All right. So let's get started by maybe filling out this piece. Yeah, let's do this. So let me see if I have maybe something stronger. Not sure if this one will be stronger. Whoa. Seem to have the same strength. Yeah, they need to be same. All right. So now we got Coffee Addict in the frame. What we can do next is to actually, maybe start to erase some of those help lines. And now start to think of like, how can we add the coffee cup right there in the center? And as you can see, also one of the elements that I did here trying to create was to create this hiding effect behind those lines, just to get a nice kind of like hiding effect, like a shadow overlaying these types. So this is one part to kind of like make your lettering stand off. Here I'm just trying to add some glow effect, some highlights. These are just like tiny things that could really elevate the whole thing, all the frame, all the picture. But what I am trying to do now is to incorporate a coffee cup, kind of like that is splashing around. And since I feel like I'm terrible, I feel like I cannot do this, but this is exactly why we're trying to do this, is to prove myself wrong, that I can create this amazing, or trying to create this amazing effect of a splash. And so this just takes, it always takes time to get good at something that you haven't done before, if you can ever achieve that, but I feel like we can if we put our minds to it. So this is where so I'm just trying to get like this shape, this form to form around here, and then have this cup of coffee like go around. So let's start off with these first elements. And of course, coffee is black, which is total opposite of what I'm drawing with right now, but hey. This kind of looks more like milk now. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Didn't think of that. So I feel like the essence behind a splash, a good splash, is kind of like to keep the whole thing really fluid, kind of like in motion. Fluid makes sense because it's all water and droplets, right? So did you guys already comment below which one of what's your favorite drink, what you love to drink? Maybe this is what you're drawing right now. I hope you are. To be honest, I love milk, so it would totally make sense that I'm also drawing milk here. So this could be the coffee cup. Splashing all around. But now kind of like missing something. I've always missing something. But how can we really make it pop? So either we create like this thing that connects it all. That's kind of what the S was all about. But somehow maybe we'll add some coffee beans. I'm not sure if that could create this whole piece, like connect this whole piece. Could though. Maybe I kind of need to have this place where it all flows in, or like maybe a cup wasn't the right choice. Maybe kind of like more the espresso thing rather than I'm not sure what I'm talking about. But why not create these coffee bean types? So right now I'm just trying to draw as much as I can from memory without actually really having to grab anything else. And it's not the first time that I've drawn coffee beans, but also coffee beans, I feel like something you could be able to see every single day. Like if it's a tea bag, then kind of like, or like tea that you love to draw, an iced tea perhaps, you can draw like some herbs and spices that would go into the tea. But this is really cool to test out, because that way you're really flexible as an artist to be able to draw anything you want whenever you need to. And again, it's more about getting the shape right than to really nailing this thing. So like you can recognize kind of what it is, and now I'm just started something that I cannot take back now. Well, I could if I wanted to, but it's creating this in-between shape. Kind of like a filler in between that will fill all the spaces that I have not colored yet. Here's something really cool as well. I'm hosting my very first workshop again after this pandemic. So I'm hosting on Saturday the Ultimate Lettering Workshop, and on Sunday the very first Procreate Bootcamp workshop, in-person workshop. We got just a couple of people coming in because we're keeping it small, we're keeping it casual, we're keeping it safe as we can be. Making sure that everyone feels comfortable enough to come, to feel at ease with all these restrictions. And so it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited to have people in the studio here again to teach in-person workshops. I've missed these times. And even someone who usually is here would come around and would actually that is around on our YouTube live chats. It's Anna Laura. She usually is, you know her better as Supernova. For those who are watching live right now, she's always in the live stream. Had to work though today, but she'll be at the studio very soon. So I'm excited to see her again. She was here in January, so it's gonna be good. And since she's not here, we could actually, I'm not gonna hide. Surprise. I'm excited to surprise her with something. So yeah, this kind of the filling around here, that is really just to really bring out all the lettering and to make it stand out. And I see that my friend Jonathan is in the chat. It's beautiful to see you here. Thank you so much. This is also something you could do with stippling, kind of like create this look. All right, so Coffee Addict. It's kind of missing some colors, but that's all right. Could be done a little bit tinier, better, probably, but that's all right, again. But this is probably where I'm gonna cut it, and you guys can finish yours. Take the time. Actually, it's easily erasable. That's really cool. Maybe we can just add some touches here. Not too much. Just wanted to get that edge of the cup really well. Because it's coffee, it doesn't need to be all white in here, but just have those touches of highlights. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. Let's take a look. Coffee Addict. This was our sketch, and we ended up with this piece over here. I'm actually really happy how it turned out. I don't know about you guys if you got it or if you are excited about it. But again, it's all about trying your best, learning something new. I learned to kind of like appreciate the balance between creating these subtleties of this liquid that is springing up, that is bouncing everywhere, that's kind of like keeping it just organic, just flowing, kind of like liquid has to be, like flowing. But this impact on the water with all the water or the coffee just spilling out is really interesting. Adding the coffee beans just to kind of like spread it out was something that I had to figure out if that's working. But so far, so good. I'm actually really excited how it turned out. And again, we learned something new. We spent some time drawing. We've actually been creating. We've created some output. So thank you to Lindo for giving it a 10 out of 10. Thank you so much, guys, for just joining. Rob Jones, loving it. Roma Barrel saying it's awesome. So good. I will try this again later, says Mariana S. Pereira. Amazing. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I can't wait for you to create something brand new. And I don't know, we're going to release a brand new video on Procreate hacks. So if you have a Procreate or an iPad with Procreate on it, then you're definitely gonna want to see this video, because those hacks actually help you to save so much time. If you want to learn more about lettering, then don't you wait for that until somebody teaches you that. But actually, you can start this course. My online course, the Ultimate Lettering online course, is out now. It's available. You get Building Letters 101, creating awesome different typesets, and also there's Composition Masterclass. So figuring out how to put which words together, which styles fit together, how do you put them together, and the spacing and the symmetry, like what do you need to make sure that a good composition really stands out. Make sure that your message, what you're trying to communicate, stands out really, really well. And so I'm excited for that. And again, you can go through all their YouTube videos for YouTube live streams. And again, I can't wait for you to see this video. I probably trying to make it work till Friday. And until then, guys, see you very soon, and have an amazing day, guys. Bye.
This is the time. Look into your eyes. I look into your eyes. No longer mine. No, you're no longer mine. The silence was found. In silence we're bound. This is